Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and tank pads last from the kickoff to the final whistle blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With the laugh and the cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll wait the road, from sideline jokes to post-match tales, all big goofs and their big fails.
Wasted world of sports, eh?
Serious, and that's our style. With
Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Tedesco's butt crack.
Ahoy!
some noise.
He's nearly taken security's head off.
The laughs, the fun, and the joys.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.
Where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come on.
Waste to Water Sports crew, ahoy. That's you lot out there. Welcome along. So nice to have you here this Thursday night. Yes, Thursday night. Sorry, all the days blend together for me now. Oh, I've also got to get the tickety-tock all set up. But, hey, this should be a good game tonight. And I'm going to tell you why in just a second. Let's get things rolling over on the TikTok. Eels versus Storm. Okay, there we go. We are live everywhere. Waste of Water Sports, of course, live across YouTube, across Facebook. Oh, which reminds me, I've also got to start the Facey. On Twitch, where we're up and running already. Doesn't require any manual intervention over there. And, of course, on TikTok, the newest of our platforms. So welcome along there, TikTokers. Nice to have you along. Heel Fries, ahoy, mate. Gina Ferricini, ahoy. And earlier, there were some conversations going on in the chat room. Some very interesting topics have been raised here already tonight. But anyways, let's talk about the game coming up. This should be a cracker. I'm going to tell you why, because a couple of people have already said to me that they think this is going to be a smoking in favor of the Storm. I'm here to tell you why that's not going to be the case. Look, I think the Storm win. I think the Storm win in a tight one. Sorry, Heel Fries, but I do believe that they will get the job done here tonight, despite no Jahrome Hughes. We know that Parramatta always get up for the big games, don't they? They take the fight to the Panthers. They take the fight to the Storm, especially when playing at home. And here at CommBank Stadium, Melbourne Storm, whilst they've got wins, of course, they don't always play to their fullest potential. They don't like the fight, the in-your-face attack that Parramatta normally bring when they're playing against the bigger teams like the Storm and the Panthers. No Jahrome Hughes as well, of course. No Jahrome Hughes is going to make that very interesting. Tyron Wishart, a more than capable replacement, but he still hasn't quite found his feet as a starting seven. He's a lot better coming off the bench. Melbourne, I suppose the upside for them is that we still haven't seen the Melbourne Storm hit top form for any consistent length of time. They're going to be hard to stop still. Nothing has changed my mind that we are going to get a Storm Panthers rematch in the grand final this year. Absolutely nothing has changed my mind. Both of those teams still have so much upside. Still yet to see the best out of both of them. But Look, the Parramatta Eels, they're improving each and every week. Jason Riles has put the sweepers through the team, which is exactly what he wanted to do, or what he needed to do. And he's got the Parramatta Eels humming along quite nicely at the moment. They're going to take the fight to the Storm. So I was very interested to see plus 9.5 points head start the Eels have been given with the bookmakers. Now, I always like to throw out there a little tip, a hot tip for your same game multis and whatnot, something that might just get you across the line. Not saying this will happen, but I reckon at a 9.5 points head start, the Parramatta Eels, which is around about $1.80, $1.90, smoking value. I think Mitch Moses will steer the ship well enough for at least the Eels to cover the line, if not get the win. That being said, look, I've tipped the Melbourne Storm to win. I do think it'll be a close one, though. 3rd versus 14th. It should not be that way. And I'm not talking about the Storm being in 3rd place. I'm talking about the Eels in 14th. They should not be that low down the table. They're a much better team than that. And I will see them take the fight to the Storm tonight in a good close game. I'm excited for it. So, yeah, what's everyone else think in the chat room? Bentley, welcome along there, mate. Ahoy. Heel fries. He reckons that Parramatta are going to do it. Mookie, ahoy, mate. Gaz Johnson genuinely does think that Parramatta will win today. No dis, ahoy, mate. Welcome along. Always nice to see you. So we've got some support. Lots of support there for the Parramatta Eels tonight, which is not all that surprising because I've got to say, I remember when this channel first started and how I was dead set against everything Parramatta. And for some reason, that seemed to draw the support of a lot of Parramatta Eels fans. I would have thought that after all these years, even though I've definitely, I've definitely eased up on Parramatta, I've got a new focus of attention for my hatred. But I am surprised at the amount of Parramatta Eels supporters that subscribed back in the day and became not just regulars on the streams, but good mates outside the streams as well. Despite me constantly belittling their team week in, week out. So cheers to Parramatta supporters for everything that we went through together in that first season of Wasted Water Sports. Hard to believe, speaking of the channel overall, just for a second, off topic from the game for one moment, but yeah, it's hard to imagine. I got something popped up on my Facebook memories, actually. Facebook memories was like the end of season 1, which around about this time, we would have been getting close, of course, to the end of the season, as it is now. We had like 300 subscribers in that first year. And we're now on the precipice of 7,000. Just a few short years later. Crazy. So I just wanted to say thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who's followed along and subscribed to the Waste of Water Sports. All the channel members that have jumped on board. Thank you. And welcome along to, as we've branched out from YouTube to Facebook and to Twitch and to TikTok, welcome along. All the support is very much appreciated. Crazy to think, and this wasn't even supposed to be a commentary channel. It just sort of happened naturally. Evolved naturally into a live commentary. It was originally just meant to be banter throughout the course of the game. You watch the game with us, and we just talk utter bollocks, which is still the case, but we still talk utter bollocks. Zoe, ahoy there over on TikTok. If we want to talk about regular OGs, original subscribers, Zoe, she goes all the way back to my gaming channel, which I am still restarting, by the way, just working out. It's been a lot tougher than expected to work out the studio setup. Anyway, I won't bore you guys with all those details now, but that's essentially what happened. It's taking a lot longer than expected to get everything sorted out and working behind the scenes so that I can easily switch between sports and gaming. Stephen Peak, ahoy! Storm 13+. Ooh, I don't know about that, mate. Coates, Paps, Katoa, and Moses, anytime try scorer. David T, ahoy, mate. David Tuakara. There, I'll try and say your last name again. Trying again. Eugene Ulol. Ahoy, mates. All the best from PNG. Gina Ferracini says it's the voice. The commentary voice. Yeah, well, I think what actually happened was a game of Mel, ahoy there. What actually happened was somebody popped in and Michelle and I were just doing the usual banter and somebody popped in and actually requested, they're like, can you tell us what's happening on the game? Like, I don't have the coverage. Can you tell us what's actually happening? And we just started making odd calls here and there. And it evolved into calling the whole game. The whole game, which is about to start. Parramatta Eels versus the Melbourne Storm. 3rd versus 14th. I still can't believe that. Zoe says you still sometimes get recommendations. Roblox videos on YouTube. They're changing all the YouTube laws here in Australia. It doesn't affect you lot over there, but referee blows his whistle. We're underway here. And it is the Storm with the kickoff. The Eels let it bounce. That's always dangerous. But it sits up kindly inside the 10. And that's a hell of a decent kickoff. Let's see how the Storm go, of course, without Jahrome Hughes. Their record without him, as it's been pointed out a couple of times, not exactly the best. Which is also why I'm leaning towards Parramatta to cover the line tonight. Just outside their own 20 now, the Eels go short side. Thought they spotted something. But the Melbourne Storm number up and shut that down before they get any thoughts. 5th and last, just outside the 30. Solid opening set defensively here for the Melbourne Storm. And back to Moses to kick the Eels out of trouble. I've got no doubt he'll do that all night long. Monster has booed on him. And he turns Coates around, who takes it inside the 20 and brings it back up the middle of the field, almost to the 30. Good kick return nonetheless. Elijah, welcome along, mate, from PNG, Eels 1-12. Game of Mel, guess what? You broke your ankle on Monday. That is terrible to hear, Game of Mel. Now, I am curious, what happened? Did you get a little over-enthusiastic as the Storm now break down the right side, almost getting away as Nick Meaney. But Sean Russell, his opposite number, holds onto his pants. Nearly pulled them down in the process. We nearly got knifeful. But Tiki Manu, 5th and last. Melbourne looking dangerous early. Short side for the returning Cameron Munster, who puts this one high. Contestable kick. And well taken by the Fox. Parramatta off the hook there. So, Game of Mel, I'm curious, did you get a little over-enthusiastic with the cup stacking? You put a little bit too much effort into a session and... Do you like my sound effects? Parramatta with a good carry here. Who was that? Can't see his number just yet. Luca Moretti it was. Early kick here from Moses in behind. And it sits up for Papenhuyzen. Just a couple of meters out from their own line here, the Storm. But Pappy returns it. Now they've got the breeze coming in behind their left shoulders here, the Melbourne Storm, in this first half. That'll be crucial. Shoulder charge there, surely, from Jack Williams. Dear God. Well, I don't understand. Well, there was no high contact, I suppose. But still, it appeared to be a shoulder charge. And we saw what happened to Jack Whiten with a recent shoulder charge call. So, lucky to get away with that one, perhaps. Jack Williams. 5th and last, Storm on halfway. Munster's down this left edge, puts it high. This one will not be contestable. Easy take at the back for Papali, who brings it back just outside the 10. He's now driven back inside the 10. A 3-man Storm tackle. Hell of a good kick chase. Zoe, thank you very much for the heart me over there on TikTok. Very much appreciated as the Eels get the first penalty of the game. Holding down in the tackle. Penalty. Well, a flop is the call. Actually, a flop is the official ruling there. You wish that it was as interesting as our little story. Game of Mel, but the leg just buckled and over you went, huh? Well, that's no good at all. Sorry to hear that, but hey, at least whilst you're in recovery mode, there's always video games, booze, and your friends here at the Wasted World of Sports. Loose pass out the back here from Hopgood. Papali races back to take it. But they've lost some meters. Up over halfway goes Penasini. Tackle 4. Riley Smith flapping his arms around, appealing for a penalty as Moses plugs it into the corner. Another decent kick. Now, this is the difference between the two teams. Without Jahrome Hughes, Parramatta have a clear advantage with the kicking in general play. Moses is going to absolutely kick the living bollocks out of them tonight as the Storm get a penalty. Parramatta caught offside. 5 minutes gone in this one, no score. I've also got a cheeky little wager in this game. So I've got a few bets on. We've got the same game multi that you can see down the bottom of the screen, of course, as Melbourne fine touch on their own 40. Off the back of that penalty, this is good field position. They'll be up over halfway in a couple of plays. So, yeah, I've got the same game multi there. Coates, Russell, Katoa, and the Fox. I've also got the Eels to cover the line at +9.5. And also, I put a cheeky little wager on the exact minute of the first try being minutes 10 to 11. So anywhere in the 10th minute, basically, as Grant goes from dummy half. Short ball from Munster is flicked back in field by Lasati. And the Eels dive on the loose ball. The flick pass back on the inside. Out the back of the hand, went to nobody. Craig Bellamy will not be happy at all with that. They open them up. Now, Cameron Munster's been held back here. They've missed that one, the officials. And it is Parramatta who get a penalty. Should have been a penalty. Storm turns into a penalty for the Eels a couple of plays later. They just showed a replay of that little break, and that's perhaps why the ball went to ground. Cameron Munster was lurking up on the inside in support, was held back by Jermaine Hopgood, it looked like. And that should have been a penalty to the Storm. Instead, it's the Eels who go on the attack. Huge touch finder from Moses, who is just kicking the Storm to death at the moment. As the early territory runs with the home side, Smith brings it down the short side here. Moses, the double pump out to Penasini, puts the fend on, but falls backwards as he puts the fend on, and that's an easy tackle in the end. The home crowd appealing for a penalty as Hopgood looks to offload and loses the ball. Melbourne back in possession, and Papenhuyzen scoots away. Heading across field, though, Papenhuyzen. Now he straightens. Ducks under the tackle of Moses on the 20. Just try to push the passes here, both teams. 6 again for the Storm. 25 out from their own line. There's Eli Katoa with a strong carry. Very early days, of course, only 8 minutes in. No score. But it is the Eels who are dominating territory for the time being. Utikimanu offloads. Back to Lasati. Lasati up over halfway. Oh, he's a big boy. 2 tackles left here for Melbourne. 40 out from the line. Grant from dummy half to Munster. Nice inside ball for Papenhuyzen. 30 out on the last. Munster down the short side. They're going to have a run here. Blaw gets it out to Howarth, who beats one, puts the toe onto it, and straight into the chest of Papali at the back. And Parramatta come away with it. Craig Bellamy will not be happy with that either. A poor end of set, really. The Red Knight 47. Ahoy, mate. You've gone for Coates for 2. Russell, Wishart, and Katoa. Very nice. Let's keep an eye on the time. Remember, I said 10th minute. Slow play the ball here for the Eels on their own 40. The referee has lost all control of the ruck. I can't help but notice. 2 tackles left here for the Eels. Polo on halfway. Taken down on the 5th and last. We want to try in the next couple of sets of 6. As Moses puts this one high. Contestable ball. Lomax chasing through. Gets the bump off. Was a little bit of Hollywood involved, but no call by the official anyway. Odd pop it, ahoy, mate. Approaching the 10th minute. Somebody needs to score off this next couple of sets. Second phase ball here for Wishart. Goes inside to Meaney. Halfway through their set here. Melbourne still inside their own half. Papenhuyzen almost loses his pants. Nowhere near as exciting when it happens to Teddy. 5th and last. Wishart from his own side of halfway. Straight down the throat of Papali at the back. Who's taken high by Munster. And a penalty here to the Eels. High contact is the call. And another little piggyback upfield. Munster knows it too. When there's no complaint whatsoever from Cameron Munster, not even a question to the referee, you know that it's absolutely the legitimate call. And he copped it twice there, Papali. As Moses with another smoking kick starts the Eels inside Storm territory. And this is what we were talking about in the pregame, isn't it? No Hughes tonight. So who's going to kick for the Storm in general play? Well, it's been Wishart and it's been Munster. And neither one of those are known for their long kicking game. Moses is just turning them around every single time. Every kick finding space in behind. Whereas the Storm kicks are going straight down the throat of the fullback. As the Eels spread it wide to the left, here's Williams spinning in contact. 25 out, the first real opportunity of the game now. Short ball to Polo, who spills it forward. And Big Junior has led his team down there. Execution for the Eels when they get into the red zone. 4. This is their second time in the red zone, early-ish in a tackle count. And they've come up with a spilt ball. It's not good enough. Not against these top-tier teams. If they want to be fighting for premierships, got to do better than that. Scrum down for Melbourne. All right, so we've already crossed over into the 11th minute, haven't we? Okay. Time is out on that one, that first try call. Still no score. We could have a low-scoring one on our hands here, although you would expect it to open up in the second half. Even if they go to halftime at 0-0. There's Kings in at first receiver here for the Storm. Through the hands left they go. Munster to Papenhuyzen and back inside to Bloor. Some slick hands for very little gain. Munster hands it off to King. 5th and last. Short side for Munster to go again. Puts it high. Contestable kick. This is better. Better end of set. Thrown backwards from Coates for Papenhuyzen. Beware the second kick. Sets up for Papali, who's tackled by Harry Grant and taken back into the end goal. Much better end of set from the Storm on this occasion. Munster with the high ball. Coates wins it uncontested. Tosses it back in field for Papenhuyzen, who gets the second kick away. It's well collected at the back by the Eels. Papali has it, but he's tackled in goal. Craig Bellamy will approve of that. Moses slowing down play. Running down the shot clock. Sends it deep. Or tried to anyway. It's taken on the full by Papenhuyzen backing up. Who gives it to big Josh King for the hit up. Still no score in this one. Can't believe it. Utikimanu in midfield. Slightly hint of a forward pass there. They're 20 metres out right in midfield. Grant onto Munster. Short ball for King, who has another go. Stands in the tackle, 10 metres out from the line. Grant dummies left, goes back the short side for Wishart. Pops the pass up for Eli Katoa. And they're just 5 metres out now, the Storm. Big line up to the left. And that's where they go. Grant onto Munster. Howarth with some fancy footwork. Well defended by the Eels. Fifth and last now, Munster. Dinks it in over the top. Contestable ball. Batted back through the legs of Josh King. It's still fifth and last, and he loses it, but then the Fox loses it. 6 more tackles for the Storm. Lasati taken down on the 0 tackle. Somstar, ahoy mate. Munster with the short ball for Utikimanu. Fends off 1. But he's brought down 5 out from the line. As Grant takes a couple of steps before sending it back left. Munster. His support runners overrun him. 6 again for Melbourne. Grant goes from dummy half. Inside ball for Lasati. Tackle 2. Just to the left of the post. King at first receiver to Wishart, who dummies. Attacks the line, but he's held up 5 out. Somebody's got Wishart in their multi. The Red Knights. As Grant heads across field, looking for a runner. Here's Munster straightening. Blore taken down. 5 out from the line now on the last. Grant goes from dummy half, tries to burrow under, and he's held up half a metre out. Well, now it's the 5th and last. Lasati goes in and plays dummy half. Munster grubbers in behind the line for Katoa. But it's battered dead. Goal line dropout. Holy hell. This is relentless from the Storm, but Parramatta's defence on point for now. Yeah. UFC, I love to see comments like that. UFC thinks the Panthers will make the top 4 this year and take the Warriors' place. Just a few mere weeks ago, UFC had the Panthers season written off completely. They weren't even going to make the 8. And I was a fool, apparently, for having faith in them. And now people are starting to believe. 30 out from the line. Here go the Storm. They've had multiple sets. Multiple sets here. Papenhuyzen straightens the line of attack. Swamped in a 3-man tackle. Grant dummies to the open side. Short side they go. 5th and last. 5 metres out from the line. Munster puts the kick up. Contestable ball. Eli Katoa wins the race and scores the first try. A tick off the multi. Munster to Katoa with a kick. How many times do we see that? Eli Katoa wins the battle in the air. By the time he comes to ground, he's already across the line. Tickety-tick number 1 off the same game multi. You love to see it. Storm up 4-0. Stephen Peake says Warriors got 2 spots left for next year. They're chasing a fast outside back. You think it's going to be Chevy Stewart from the Raiders? Yes, well, Chevy Stewart is, of course, looking for a club for next year. So it could very well be Chevy Chase Stewart. Eli Katoa, try-scoring machine that he is. He continues and he gets one for us tonight. Ryan Papenhuyzen with the shot at goal. Moves in and he shanked it. It's hit both uprights and bounced away. You can't believe it. from 5 meters to the right of the posts. Jahrome Papenhuyzen, a kick so simple, I'd even back Michelle to kick it at least 3 times out of 10. Hits the left upright, bounces off the left, over to the right, bounces off that one, and away it goes. Eli Katoa with the opening try, unconverted by Jahrome Papenhuyzen. Four points to nil it remains. Jason says, without the Coke version of Chevy Chase. No, we love the coked up version. The Red Knight 47, your cash out jumped up $5. Let's see, what are they offering me for a cash out at the moment? Whoa, okay. As Munster here on the 5th and last puts this one high. Taken by the Eels under no pressure at the back. So my cash out offer is essentially $3.64. See, this is proof that I get absolutely dudded on the cash out offers as Cameron Munster has gone in high again, and it's a penalty to the Eels. Cameron Munster returning this week, and he has not got his tackling right. Way too high. Yeah, I swear that I get dudded on cash out offers. Oh, okay. It's gone up to $10.83 now. I put $50 on it. My cash out offer is $60.83. We are, of course, going to let this ride because it's same with me. Sports bet up to $50. Bonus bet back if any leg fails. Parramatta off the back of that penalty now. Junior Bolo 30 meters out from the line. Moses in midfield. Goes out the back there for Hawkins. Through the hands now with Russell. Tries to put the fend on Nick Meaney, but Meaney brings him down. Hawkins at first receiver, and now Papali heading sideways. Moses straightens, puts the grubber kick through, sits up for Papenhuyzen on the goal line. He dives into the field of play. Melbourne in possession, half a metre out, leading 4 points to nil off the back of the Eli Katoa try. Eli Katoa's try, and of course our first tick off the multi for the night, of hopefully a few more to come. Is Melbourne carrying it through Howarth. On their 10, 3 tackles in. This is a tough old set of 6. And a chance for Parramatta to turn this momentum around. Utikamanu has something to say about that, though, doesn't he? Big unit that he is. 5th and last. Now, using the breeze, kicking down the middle of the park. Taken by Papali, and he's got the Fox with him. That's what we want to see, the Fox in a little bit of open space. Brings it back to the 40, and off the back of that big defensive set, Parramatta have now got some prime field position as they're on halfway on play 2. Looking to offload is Lomax. Lucky for him, the referee had just called held, so he gets the ball back and has to play it because it was a loose carry out the back. A moment sooner, and it would have been Melbourne's ball. 40 out from the line here. The Eels shifting to the left edge again. 5th and last. Staying left for Hawkins. Retreating defence of Melbourne. Almost caught napping, but Papenhuyzen scoops the ball up. Jahrome Papenhuyzen in the perfect place at the perfect time. And that's a poor play the ball. Parramatta will get the result. Well, Papenhuyzen had just done all the hard work, all the good stuff, and then he's produced that play the ball. And Papenhuyzen's come straight across to Harry Grant and said, don't challenge, don't challenge. Well, Ryan Papenhuyzen, honestly, he had just done so well. You want to talk about a rocks and diamonds play. Odd Poppet says, I've been meaning to ask, I probably know the answer. Have you ever watched Sassy the Sasquatch? Someone just introduced me to it, and I think it's hilarious. No, but I do have a regular dancer at the clubs named Sassy. And she sure ain't no Sasquatch. Riley Smith goes the short ball for Charlie Geimer. DJ Shack, ahoy, mates. Looking forward to the final test tomorrow, even though it is a dead rubber. As Papali onto Russell. Russell gives it onto the Fox. Fox beats the tackle and slides across the line for tick number 2 off the multi. Oh, we're going to get it tonight. I can feel it. We are going to get this one tonight. The Eels attacking left where Russell and the Fox are. I got a good feeling about this one. Sean Russell feeds it onto the Fox. Does he stay in the field of play? They might just want to have a look at the Fox's left leg here. And here we go. Fox close to the sideline, keeps the boot up, and he's over the line to score. Well done by the Fox. What a finish. Four points all with the kick to come. We saw Papenhuyzen miss a dead set sitter. What can Mitch Moses do from the sideline? Or Zach Lomax, whoever's going to be taking the kicks. It'll be Lomax, won't it? Matty Colkin, ahoy, mate. Thank you for sending that stuff through on the Discord, mate. I did try it out. But unfortunately, TikTok is all over us at the moment for some reason. Once again, it's hit me with we are not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because of unoriginal or reproduced content. I don't know how much more original an actual live stream can be, but I digress as Zach Lomax moves in from the sideline. It's hooking. You wouldn't believe it. It's hit the upright. You would not believe it's hit the upright and bounced away. Both goal kickers now have hit the post to create misses. 4 points all. Matty Colkin, thank you very much for the heart me and the rugby ball. Scaife 97. Ahoy, mate. What was the market like just for Katoa to score? Couldn't have been great odds. No, I think Eli Katoa was like $1.80 or something. Anytime try. $2 at most. Because he's such a regular try scorer. There's often not a lot of value in Eli Katoa on his own. Let's see what my cash out offer has jumped up to. My cash out offer has now jumped up to $112.66. But since this is a free bet and my potential payout is $1,425, we are, of course, letting it ride. As Parramatta from the kickoff, bringing it back out to the 30. A couple of tackles left. As Dylan Walker's on the field, came on quite a bit earlier, of course, but takes the run up outside the 40 for Moses to now kick, and he's picked out Coates. This time, Coates standing a little deeper as they realise that Moses is kicking the skin off the ball. And yes, Matty Colkin, Nick White retiring. This will be his last test match on Saturday night. Nick White's final test match for the Wallabies. The little pest that he is, a typical number 9. A mouthy little pest. Inside ball there for Karma Chameleon. As Melbourne bring it outside the 40. Utikimanu almost spills that ball in contact, but it's fifth and last halfway. Wishart puts the kick up. The Fox is under it. No pressure on him at the back. Fires the pass over to Papali, who returns it to the 20. Tonga, go to Hoy mates. We still haven't decided on SummerSlam yet, Tonga Goat, but it's awesome that you're asking, because we do love to hear that our wrestling content is getting some eyes on it. As this pass across into midfield for Walker, goes out the back for Hawkins. Papali onto Russell. Russell tries to take the line on. Nick Meaney is all over him tonight. Fifth and last for Moses to put it high. Coates plants himself under it, and he's tackled inside the 10. It's a great kick chase. Munster from dummy half goes on to Howarth, who fends off one, fends off another. His ass is out. No, his pants have been pulled back up. I sounded disappointed about that. Papenhuyzen now scoots out of dummy half. Just short of halfway. 3 tackles gone here in the set for Melbourne. Wishart in midfield. Drops it off on the inside. Who's that? Who's been rocked in the tackle? Poor Grant Anderson. Grant goes to Wishart on the fifth and last. High ball, not contestable. Easy take for Papali at the back. 11 minutes left in the opening half. 4 points all. We talked about it in the pregame. Had a feeling this would be a close one. Parramatta are delivering at the moment. Viking axe, ahoy mate. As the referee blows the whistle, we've got another penalty here against Cameron Munster and the Melbourne Storm. Well, welcome back, Cameron Munster. Referee Sutton, I believe it is, all over you tonight. Matty Colkin, Formula One this weekend is... It'll be the Hungarian Grand Prix this weekend, I believe. $40 meters out from the line off the back of that touch finder. The Eels flat pass there from Walker to Paulo, who bumps off Harry Grant. But luckily he had some assistance there. Hazza, right side loaded up here. Short ball from Moses onto Geimer, and the ball is spilt. Melbourne come away with it. Again in the red zone. Execution lacking for the Eels. 0 tackle, that is for Melbourne, just outside their 20. As Anderson spins in the tackle, I think it's Anderson. And a penalty to Melbourne. So, just to compound the error, they give away a penalty and they give away field position. Richard Trainer, ahoy mate. Same game multi looking good so far indeed. 2 legs down. As the Storm really missing the kicking game tonight of Jahrome Hughes, but they're making do as they do. Karma Chameleon in midfield, takes it up over halfway. Grant scoops it up, gives it to Munster as they attack left. Papenhuyzen turns it back inside for Sean Bloor. They're 40 metres out from the line here, the Storm. 8.5 to go until half-time. They get a set restart. Munster to Wishart. Numbers to the right. And Katoa loses it out the back. They just got the 6 again. And Eli Katoa comes up with the mistake. Parramatta now race away. The Fox. Onto the 40. Melbourne, some uncharacteristic errors again. And now Parramatta lose it. Parramatta lose it on play 1. Counter-attack on here for the Storm. Here's Munster. Oh no, referee's blown the whistle and brought play back. A knock on by Parramatta, a scrum down for the Storm, and with 8 minutes to go until the halftime break, this game has just deteriorated a little bit. Both teams, some uncharacteristic errors, some simple errors. Oh, Jason Riles. The head goes straight into the hands. He can't believe what he's seen. Tonga, go. Thank you very much for the TikTok. As Melbourne win the scrum, and Wishart's copped a high shot here. Now, that's a penalty. Is it kickable? Well, probably not based on the last attempt by Papenhuyzen, but it's just to the left of the post. Do they think about the two here, Melbourne? 35 or so meters out, about 10 to the left of the post. Papenhuyzen absolutely cooked it from right in front, essentially, so they've got no faith in him. They put it into the corner to the Storm. They're going in for the kill. Finding touch on the 20. Oh, poor service there to Harry Grant. Munster shows it to Chameleon and goes on his own. 25 out. 6 again here for the Storm. Chameleon gets the ball this time. Carries it to the 15. Munster back inside for King. 10 out. 4 tackles left. Grant goes to Wishart. They attack the right. Here's Papenhuyzen in the line. Stacked up to the left now with 3 tackles left. This brings Coates into play. We could have tick number 3 here very, very shortly. As Grant in midfield to Munster. Munster finds half a gap. Can't get the arms free as he's tackled on the 10. They're going to go right here, I believe. As Grant to Chameleon, who busts straight through a big gap and plants it down under the posts. The Chameleon. Melbourne up 8 points to 4. The kick to come. Well, who had Chameleon on their same game multi? Beautiful decoy by Joe Chan. Suckered in the defenders. And that left a huge gap. And straight through. Tui Kamika. The Chameleon. Melbourne about to lead by a converted try, although there's no guarantee Papenhuyzen will put this over. DJ Shack with some world news, of course. Yes, tsunami warning all along the Pacific after a big magnitude 8.7 earthquake in Russia. That is, of course, the big news of the moment. And I have been keeping an eye on it. I've been... keeping an eye out. There are some people, quite a lot of people that are way too close, let me say. Way too close to that. So, yes. Conversion successful. And Melbourne lead 10 points to 4. Whoops. Tries for Katoa and Chameleon, who is, of course, Kamika, for those who don't know. Tui Kamika, but I call him Chameleon. Not that it's any easier, it's just cool. From the restart, Cameron Munster is going to run it from the back fence. What is he, a forward now? The try scorer, Chameleon, brings it outside the 20 on play 2. 4 minutes until the break in what has turned into a very, very scrappy opening half. Very scrappy. Munster from inside the 40. Oh, what if he pulls this off right on the stroke of halftime? Papali gets across and takes it just inside the sideline. And it's Munster leading the kick chase. Lomax is back for a carry. Driven back in the tackle. 3.5 minutes to go. Melbourne up 10-4. Penasini just one out from the ruck. Almost spills the ball. Does well to hold on to it in the end. 2 tackles left. Into midfield. Walker crunched in the tackle, but they've got space out to the left. Quick hands puts the Fox in open space. Beats the first tackle. And Fox is brought down 30 out from the line. Need a quick play the ball here, the Eels. Hawkins with the crossfield kick. Well, that's a bit of a shocker. Easy take in the end goal by Xavier Coates. Coates goes and links up with Papenhuyzen. 2 minutes to go. This opening half, the Storm could come away with some more points here. 7 tackle set. Staying on the short side for Howarth. Steps through one, Howarth, and takes it up over halfway. Lomax held onto him for dear life. As Munster now holds the ball in 2 hands, heads across field. And he's tackled on the 40. Grant goes from dummy half, catches them napping. But Jack Williams brings him down. 2 tackles left here for the Storm. 2 minutes to go. And it'll be half time. 5th and last now is Joe Chan tackled. Where do they go? Grant goes short side for Munster. Munster holds the kick up. Contestable here for Coates. Lost forward by the Eels. And Melbourne will get the last chance here in the first half to go further ahead. Zach Lomax spills it. Although, captain's challenge. The Eels challenging this call. Let's see. Oh, now this looks like it's been batted back by Xavier Coates. Does it come off Lomax, though, on the way back? It's going to be really hard to overturn this. It's definitely been knocked backwards by Coates, but is it knocked back into the hand of Lomax? It'll be very hard to... Surely it's touched the hand there. It was called a knock-on by the on-field referee, so this will be almost impossible to overturn. And there we go. The captain's challenge is unsuccessful. Unsuccessful. So the Eels have lost their challenge. Melbourne have a minute and a half to sneak some more points before the break. Oh, can you imagine if it's... You know what? If it's Xavier Coates, we very realistically start to think about cashing out. Scrum down, 10 metres out. Where's Coates? Okay, Xavier Coates is still over here on the left. They'll be looking to get him one-on-one at some point. Do they go straight away from the scrum? No, they go right. Munster sends it out to Nick Meaney, who stands in the tackle 10 metres out from the line. Now there's an opportunity left. Wishart onto Chan. Chan beats one. Carries it inside the 10. But they're setting up all their plays right tonight. Karma Chameleon on the crash ball. He's drawn in 4 defenders, the big man. Put on his back on play 3. A metre out. Parramatta are up quickly. Munster with the short ball for King. 50 seconds left. Where do they go? Grant dummies the short side. Brings it back open for Munster to kick through. It sits up in the end goal for Lomax. Lomax is tackled in goal. And with 40 seconds left on the clock, that probably should see us go into half-time. Coates was just a little deep there on the attack, not expecting that kick through. Nicely placed kick from Munster, but didn't really have anybody chasing was the problem. as Moses gets this kick away and it beats Papenhuyzen. It's gone all the way over halfway. It's gone all the way inside the opposition 40. Papenhuyzen with a chip and chase. Penalty goes to the Storm as Papenhuyzen was taken out. Now this is very kickable. Very kickable. 40 metres out, right in front. The Storm could get another 2 points here going into the break. Papenhuyzen with the chip and chase. And he's been taken out by Dylan Walker, who clearly closes the gap. Alters his line, closes the gap, bumps Papenhuyzen with the shoulder, and they're going to have a shot at 2. Well, this is a gift. If he kicks it, a bonus 2 points. Belinda Didymus. Ahoy there. Belinda says, go Munster. $10 points to 4, but penalty attempt here for Papenhuyzen. He's right in front, 35 metres out. Should be able to smoke this one pretty easily, you would think. But then, I said that about his first attempt. And he ballsed it up, didn't he? Half-time. Regardless, at the end of this play, half-time. Will it be 10-4 or will it be 12-4? Papenhuyzen, 35 out, right in front. He moves in. He strikes it. It's hooking. Well, he's pushed it away to the right and it doesn't hook back enough. Papenhuyzen does not have the kicking boots tonight. 10 points to 4 at the break. Melbourne leading in a tight one. Got to say, we called it. We called it in the pre-game, didn't we? Parramatta were given a 9.5 points head start by the bookies. A long way to go. Long way to go, of course. A whole half of football, but I do love it when they give away money. It's awesome. Oh, hey, Alana. Mookie says Nick Meaney should be kicking. Buddy, anybody else should be kicking. I reckon Wishart can probably kick as well. I mean, if he's anything like his dad, surely you could not grow up the son of Rod Wishart and not be able to kick place kicks. Hosea, ahoy, mate. What's good? Well, same game multi's looking good at the moment. Going into halftime, 2 legs down. 10 points to 4 at the break. Waste of Water Sports live on YouTube, live on TikTok, although they're really shadow banning us at the moment. Live on Twitch and live on Facebook. Welcome along wherever you might be joining us from. Halftime here. Do like and subscribe on YouTube if you enjoy what we're doing here and would like to follow along in future games. We will, of course, be back tomorrow night for Friday night footy. So, yes, I'm going to pop off and have a quick break. We'll be back to cover all the halftime. Well, we'll be back to recap the first half action when I come back here on the Waste of Water Sports. Catch you shortly. halftime here, 10 points to 4. Melbourne Storm in the lead. 2 tries to 1, but kicking boots have been left home by both goal kickers tonight. Papenhuyzen for the Storm and Zach Lomax for Parramatta. Have not been kicking too well. Robert M, ahoy mate. Robert M, you'll be at the Broncos game. Shemin M says, is it just me or have the Storm just looked really off this year? Yes, I was actually talking about it in the pre-game, Shemin M. Melbourne have definitely not hit top gear for any consistent length of time this season. Even the games where they have been really, really good and got a big win, a big comprehensive win, they haven't backed it up the following week like you would expect them to do. But they keep winning. They're still in third spot. So they keep on winning. And that, I mean, honestly, that's kind of what you want to see. Even if you're having a bad year, the good teams still find ways to win. So the Melbourne Storm, whilst they have not hit anywhere near top gear, they're still winning enough games to be in the top 4 well and truly. I think the injury to Jahrome Hughes might make the minor premiership might be out of reach for them. But we'll see. We'll see. Robert M says, why have we dropped Arthurs? He's not injured. Question mark. Well, I mean, obviously I'm not part of the Broncos coaching staff or the Broncos selection panel. So yeah, I don't really know. It's basically where I'm going with that. I don't really know. I'm with you. I haven't heard anything about Jesse Arthurs being injured. DJ Shack says, if the Raiders lose even one game, it's the Storm's minor premiership to lose. Because the Storm have like a plus 230 points differential. And the Raiders are definitely going to lose at least one game. They've got the Panthers coming up in a couple of weeks. I would have actually gone for the Dragons this weekend, but the Dragons are just missing so many players. So many players. So I'm not sure. I'm not so solid on that anymore. But yes, it was a game that I sort of had pegged the Raiders losing. But yeah, I'm not convinced now with all the players that are out for the Dragons. I still think Storm Panthers grand final. I've said that since the end of the grand final last year. I've been saying Storm Panthers in a repeat. And I've seen absolutely nothing. Nothing has changed my mind. JC Smoke says Bunty Afoa back for the Warriors. Big bad Bunty Afoa. Of course, the Warriors. Oh, jeez. The Warriors are going to do it tough this weekend, I reckon. Warriors will do it tough. No James Fisher-Harris. Chanel Harris-Tavita, of course, out. Luke Metcalf, of course, out for the season. Tanner Boyd is doing an admirable job filling in, but the Dolphins, they've got some players coming back as well. Felice Kafusi, Cody Nikorima, LJ Nonu. and Mark Nichols all coming back in for the Dolphins, and I just really like the look of the team. I reckon the Dolphins get the win there. They'll be desperate too, of course, trying to keep themselves in touch with the top 8. Shem Brokenshire. Is that Sheminem from TikTok? Welcome along, mate, over to the YouTube. If it's the same Shem, I don't know what the hell's going on with TikTok. I'm almost ready to just give up on TikTok. Every time we go live, they ping us for unoriginal content. And I'm like, what's honestly more original than an actual legitimate live stream? So I don't know what the hell to do about TikTok, if I even bother with it at all, to be honest. Robert M says, I reckon the Sharks will smash the Cowboys. Well, I hope you're right. I sincerely hope you're right. But as we know, I have absolutely no faith when it comes to my team. Somebody was asking me an upset, the potential upset for the round. Captain Redbeard, ahoy, mate. Upset of the round. Well, I'm still not completely unconvinced. They'll do it tough because they got so many players out. I'm still not completely unconvinced that the Dragons will get the win over the Raiders. So that would definitely be the upset of the weekend, should it happen. But outside of that, I mean, Cowboys to beat the Sharks, perhaps. Go Storm, who is going to make the grand final. I was just saying, literally just before I was talking about it, so I won't go into detail, but I have been saying since the end of last year, since the 80th minute of last year's grand final, I've been saying Storm Panthers rematch. And I've seen nothing at all to change my mind. Nothing at all has happened throughout the course of this season that has swayed me from that thought at any point. Even when the Panthers were on the bottom of the table, I stood firm. It'll be a Storm Panthers grand final. Hosea says, if the Warriors fall out of the top 4, they still overperformed this season. Do you reckon, Hosea? I would have thought on paper. I know that on paper doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot. We see that year in, year out with a lot of teams, don't we? On paper doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot, but yeah, I mean, they're starting 13, their starting squads, if they were all fit throughout the whole year, I don't think they were that bad. Captain Redbeard says Tigers beating the Dogs would be an upset. Oh, absolutely it would be. Captain Redbeard, 100% would be, mate. I was just focusing on the ones that are more likely to happen. There's never a 0% chance of something happening, but I mean, it'd only be like a 1 or 2% chance, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think maybe overperformed isn't the right phrase, so they did better than most people would have thought they'd do. Yeah, not entirely sure I completely understand what you're trying to say, though, I think. Robert M., you've got the Brisbane making the finals under Madge. Brisbane need a fullback, basically. I mean, I'm sorry, because I know that you are a Broncos supporter, so you probably like Reece Walsh, but the Broncos, I'm sorry, they'll never win a premiership with Reece Walsh at fullback. I like to make some big calls and put my balls on the chopping block, and I stand by that one as well. I don't believe the Broncos have the team capable of winning a premiership with Reece Walsh at the back. As the second half is underway, Parramatta with the kickoff, Munster's under it, and he feeds it to the Karma Chameleon, who brings it up. A good, strong carry. Oh, and he's hurt. Oh, he was in a chicken wing. Maybe a hint of a chicken wing here on the Karma Chameleon. He's up and he's trying to shake it off. He's fine. He's just trying to get the penalty. God, he's a big unit, isn't he? Look at the size of that man. This is going to be a penalty to the Storm, I reckon. This is a old classic chicken wing style tackle. On report, and a penalty to the Storm. So the Karma Chameleon, he might have been playing up a little bit, but trying to milk the penalty. But it's when I say milk, I mean he slowed the play down on purpose so that the bunker could intervene. It was a totally legitimate penalty. There's Melbourne again, finding touch on the 40. Sean Bloor met in a hard three-man tackle, taking the ground just short of halfway. Munster at first receiver into King, angling back in towards the ruck. Tackle 2. Munster with the short ball there for Joe Chan, who's up over halfway. Down the short side, here's Katoa. 35 out from the line. Lined up to the left here, the Storm. Give it to Coates. Wishart runs it to the line. Goes out the back for Munster, who drops it off on the inside for Howarth. Tackled on the 30. Fifth and last. Coates is down their short side where Munster puts the grubber through. Sits up for Papali at the back. Well positioned there, the young fullback. That's tackle 1. 10 metres out from their own line here, the Eels. So a lot of the attack tonight for Melbourne going down the right edge, which has taken Coates out of the game. They've obviously spot some sort of weakness in the Eels' left edge defence. They keep attacking right. Either that or it's just a coincidence that it happens that way. Walker onto Bolo in midfield. Spins in the tackle of Harry Grant. But Grant has a couple of big boys there to help him out. Harry Grant just tripped over his own feet. And he goes face first into the turf. As Parramatta put the kick down to Papenhuyzen inside the 10. Gives it off to Coates. And this is all we've really seen from Coates tonight. Running it back from kicks or doing the hard yards out of territory. Slow play the ball as Howarth steps off the right. 3 tackles down here for Melbourne. They're only out to the 30. Meany just setting it up now for a clearing kick. Big run there from Chan. Fifth and last. They get to halfway. Good set in the end. Wishart puts this one high. Easy take for Papali at the back. And Munster's up around the neck again. He's got to be careful tonight, Munster. He's given away a lot of penalties. And here is another one for the Eels. The Storm offside. 10 points to 4. 4 minutes gone in the second half. A nice early tick off the multi in the second half here would be fantastic. Give it to Coates or give it to Russell. I want to see the teams attacking left. Another good touch finder here from Moses. And here come the Eels, 30 metres out from the line. Great field position. From dummy half, here's De Silva, former Tiger, of course. Another young Tiger who skipped out halfway through the season. Lockie Galvin and Talon De Silva. There's Matt Dory, finding Dory. Backs into the defence. Inside the 10, De Silva goes short side for Hawkins to pop the pass up. Williams stands in the tackle, looks to get the quick play the ball away. De Silva stays short side, has a dart on his own. A metre out here on the fifth and last. Fox goes in to play dummy half. Papali in midfield. Goes out the back for Moses. Chance here for the Eels. They've got them ripped apart in midfield. They're over the try line. Has he got it down? Charlie Geimer, I think it is. Charlie Geimer from 20 metres out has just said, bugger it. I'll do it myself. He had support runners all around him, but he has just barreled through 3 Storm defenders. This was very, very slow ball, but they had a 4-on-3 with Papenhuyzen coming across. Charlie Geimer actually offloads it into Xavier Coates. Hang on, let's get a look at this on replay. So Geimer goes through. The ball was knocked out by Coates. Back into the possession of Geimer, who gets over the line. He was looking to pass it. Decided to... Well, he did pass it. There you go. Charlie Geimer has passed the ball into Xavier Coates. So he did look to get the ball away. This try has not been confirmed yet, by the way. We're having a look at another replay here. Well, it's very interesting, isn't it? Because he actually passes it. Geimer goes through a big gap. He does pass the ball. He's also touched it, and it's gone down. I think they're going to need a closer look at this. And Papenhuyzen's got himself in under this ball. They're going to have a closer look at this, I dare say. Papenhuyzen, he's made an incredible effort to try and save this, even if he hasn't. It's a monstrous effort. I think Charlie Geimer's been cleared of a knock-on. He passes the ball into Xavier Coates. It deflects back. Try's been confirmed now. There you go. Charlie Geimer passes it into Coates. It comes back to him. He does get over the line. Papenhuyzen was in under the ball, but they've seen a blade of grass touching the ball at some point there, and the try's been awarded. 10 points to 8. The kick to come. Zach Lomax. Opportunity here to tie the game up. That call was kind of like a throwback to the old days where it was just benefit of doubt goes to the attacking team. Lomax hooks it horribly. Origin style off to the left. And it remains 10 points to 8. Zach Lomax has got his Origin boots on. $10 points to 8. It stays. Another missed conversion tonight. And Melbourne stay in the lead. Slender as it may be. Storm get us back underway. The kickoff lands on the goal line, and here's Junior Paulo. Winds up and launches into the defense. Walker with an early shift here. Papali onto Lomax. Lomax tries to put the fend on Howarth. Howarth having none of it. 25 out over on that right edge. Here come the Eels on play 3. Odd Poppets is still a close game then. Yes, it is. As predicted, I would like to point out as well. I had the Eels covering the 9.5 line. Walker takes tackle 5, on halfway. Back to Moses. Oh, that's a huge kick from Moses. Not an easy take, this one from Coates. He's done well. That was not an easy take. Mitchell Moses put that so high. He got that, but he higher than the rocket they tried to launch the other day. Early shift from the Storm now, but well defended by the Eels. 8 minutes gone in the second half. 10 points to 8. Was anyone brave enough to tip the Eels in the Wasted World of Sports tipping contest? Did anyone go Eel? Fifth and last. Grant goes short side for Munster. Puts it high. This won't be contestable, but it won't be an easy take either. Papali does well as he falls to his knees to take it, but he takes it nonetheless. Parramatta ball on their own 20. Lomax loses it out the back. Luckily, it's gone backwards. Hawkins scoops it up. Fires it over to Penasini, I believe it is, who crawls outside the 20. Lomax is not having a good night. Moses is taken high, up around the shoulders. No call. Now he gets the call. Penalty to the Eels. Oh, they've got the momentum. Parramatta have got the momentum here in the second half. Clear high tackle there from Sean Bloor. And Moses with the breeze in the second half as well, it's worth pointing out. Finds touch, 35 out from the line. Here they come. De Silva with the short ball. Chance for the Eels to take the lead. Walker onto Bolo. 15 out in midfield on play 2. Slow play the ball. De Silva goes right for Walker. Short ball is a nice one. 5 meters out here on play 3. Another slow play the ball. Risking a set restart here, the Storm. Bolo loses it out the back and Munster scoops it up. Another mistake inside the red zone from the Eels. Too many turnovers here on the attack. Down the short side goes Papenhuyzen. Carries it out to the 30. And a penalty now. And again, Parramatta compound the mistake with a penalty. They have done this every single time. They spill the ball inside the Storm red zone, and then they compound the mistake with a penalty. Oh boy, to be a coach, huh? Storm finding touch on halfway. An area of their game that's severely lacking without Jahrome Hughes is the general play kicking. Wishart and Munster just don't kick the same. And they haven't been getting as much yardage from those touch finders. The kicks in general play haven't really been finding the turf. Flat pass there from Munster to Bloor. The ball's ripped away by Walker. And Walker now sets up a counter-attack opportunity for the Eels. But he's ankle tapped and brought down. Loose carry there from Sean Bloor. 29 minutes to go. Oh, it's a one-on-one steal from Walker. He's done well. Very, very scrappy at times, this game. Up over halfway. Go the Eels on play 4. Moses is on the left. Goes out the back for Hawkins. Nice short ball for Williams. Angling back in. Stands on the 30. They can't bring Williams to ground tonight. Fifth and last. Moses. Contestable ball goes up looking for Lomax. Lomax doesn't get through on time. Rips the ball away from Coates. Coates spills it out the back and Papenhuyzen collects it. Knock on by the Eels first, though, is the call. Lomax, when he rips that ball away from Coates, spills it forward. 28 minutes to go. 10 points to 8. Melbourne, they're holding on and nothing more at the moment. The Eels have got all the momentum. Oh, now who's this busted open? That's a lot of claret. He's got the crimson mask. A big gash right above the eyebrow. And this will cause a little bit of a time delay. Now the referee has said, nope, we're not waiting anymore. Either take him off or we're playing on. Melbourne with the scrum down here on their own 20. Or their own 10, rather. We need another try scorer. Sean Russell, Xavier Coates. Come on, lads. Karma Chameleon. They're up quickly on him. They get him before he can wind those big legs up. Now he's called held. Back into midfield for Katoa. This is slow stuff for the Storm. Parramatta have been well and truly on top in this second half. Should be level on the scorecard, but goal kicking's been an issue tonight. 0 conversions for the Eels. I mean, they could not only could they be level, but they could be ahead. As Munster puts this kick down, easy take at the back. And it's Lomax who runs it back into contact. Bernie Lomax plays it quickly on the 30. Parramatta goes short side. Munster's there to make the tackle. Can they hold on to this 2-point lead? Just ride out this wave of momentum. Up over halfway now. Here's Hawkins on to Williams. Williams, he's been strong tonight. Goes to ground for the first time in about 4 tackles. Staying on the short side. Hawkins pops it up for Russell. Russell takes it inside the 30. Fifth and last. Moses puts it high, looking for Lomax again. Eels chase through. Now were they bumped off? They were. It's a penalty to the Eels. Right in front. Take the 2 and level it up. An escort penalty against the Storm. Now Munster's blowing up. Munster's blowing up now. He can't believe it. Well, he's been penalised so much tonight, Cameron Munster. Oh, they've challenged it. Oh, what a waste of a captain's challenge. What a waste of a captain's challenge this is. He's only got eyes for Walker, and he bumps him off. Penalty stands for the Eels here right in front. And they are going to have the shot at 2. An absolute gift. I'll tell you what, though. I am, of course, a big advocate for taking the points. But Parramatta, they've had all the momentum. I mean, it's a sensible decision, I know. It is. And this is the argument that I always have. The reasoning for taking the points when they're on offer. It's an absolute gift. It levels the scores up, but I just wonder, they've had all the momentum in the second half. A try could be a killer blow, but it's a gift 2 points from right out in front. Lomax pops it over, and we're all locked up at 10 apiece. Oh, God, I need another try on this multi. As I said, it was a free hit anyway. We've done well to get halfway through. $10 points apiece. Elijah, ahoy, mate. Go Eels. Rodney Rapa, ahoy. Rodney says, go Para. A slightly concerned looking Craig Bellamy up there in the coach's box. 24 minutes to go. We're all locked up. Melbourne go a little bit shorter with the restart on this occasion. And it's Tuivasa who's picked up and driven back in the tackle. 10 metres out from their own line here, the Eels, to start this set. After some points, we're all locked up. 10-all. Into midfield for Hopgood, who just shovels the ball along. Staying on that right-hand side, here's Moses. The inside ball. Hennessini angling back in towards the tackle. Walker, flat pass there at best to Tuivasa. Fifth and last on halfway. Moses puts this ball high. Oh, this is going to be a tough take for Papenhuyzen. Backing up, does well. Takes it on the 10. Gives it off there for Anderson. And Grant Anderson, well, he hasn't touched the ball a lot tonight. Really hasn't seen the ball in open space. Stephen Peake says, come on, Storm, prove that you are the team to beat. As they, the Storm, march up towards halfway. Garlic is on the field. Here's Papenhuyzen offloading back for Grant. Was it touched by the Eels here? 6 more tackles? No. No tackle count restart. Fifth and last. Munster chips it in over the top, finds open space, and bounces it into touch 5 metres out from the line. Nice kick from Munster. Oh, this is tense. I love it. I couldn't believe the odds. Like, Parramatta was so much better than the 9.5 points that the bookmakers were giving them. So I had the Eels covering the line. A long way to go, though. We have seen the Eels just completely fall apart at the back end of the game, haven't we? So we'll have to see. Can they keep it up here, the Eels? 10-all. 22 minutes remaining. Tackle 3 here on their own 30. Hopgood in midfield. Charges forward. 2 tackles left. Walker with the goose step and the short ball there for Tuivasa. Quick play the ball. Moses is going to go on a run here. Goes straight up the middle, Moses, and loses the ball. 20 out from the line. He almost caught them napping. Great heads-up play by Mitch Moses, though. It didn't come off, but he saw the gap and he went for it. Papenhuyzen from dummy half. Brings it out to the 40. Welcome along. We've got some new names and faces there in the chat. PNG representing in the chat room. Welcome along. Stephen Peake, we will be back tomorrow, yes, as Harry Grant goes from dummy half. Getting themselves down towards the Eels red zone. Papenhuyzen to Munster. Inside ball for Wishart. Desperation tackle from Tuivasa. Fifth and last. Munster down the short side. Grubber's in behind the line. Well scooped up by Papali. Oh, he's locked. A penalty to the Storm. Penalty Melbourne. As one of the Eels have dropped a shoulder in on the kick chasers. And they're going to have a shot at 2 here to take the lead. Yes, Mitch Moses, clear obstruction there on Sean Bloor. A blatant penalty, just like we saw down the other end. And the Storm are going to have a shot at 2 here to try and take the lead, are they? Papenhuyzen carries it back to the 20-metre line. He's about 10 or 15 in from touch. Favoured side for a right foot kicker. Certainly not an easy kick, especially given the circumstances of the game. Wasted World of Sports, of course, live on YouTube, live on Twitch, live on Facebook. Welcome along if you are joining us for the first time. We do this each and every week for NRL and Rugby Union. Do feel free to give us a like and subscribe if you're enjoying your time here. John Michael, ahoy mate. All right, Papenhuyzen. What is he, 10 metres in from touch? He's taken it back a little bit further to give the Melbourne Storm the lead. It's on his good side for a right foot kicker. He moves in. He's missed it again. He's pushed it out to the right. But the Fox can't get out of the end goal. And it'll be a goal line dropout. The ball didn't go dead. Fox couldn't get out of the end goal area. Craig Bellamy's furious. He can't believe the goal kicking tonight from Papenhuyzen. It remains 10 points apiece. Moses goes deep with the restart. That is a monstrous dropout. Papenhuyzen takes it on his own 40, gives it off to Atikimanu, who brings it back inside the Eels half. Munster goes from dummy half, and it's spilt on tackle 1. The Storm come up with an error, and Bellamy's off. Craig Bellamy has left the coach's box. Well, what is going on with the Melbourne Storm? A mistake on play 1. Parramatta have been dominating this second half. Craig Bellamy is out of the coach's box. Scrum down here for Parramatta on their own 40. 17 minutes left to play. They go short side, which is the right edge. Penasini just short of halfway on tackle 1. Can they take advantage of this opportunity that's just been gifted to them? Craig Bellamy's back. Welcome back, Craig. Tuivati down the short side on play 3. Moses in midfield, goes out the back for Hawkins. Papali's up in the line, gives it to Russell. Russell steps off the left and beats Meany, but he's taken down by Wishart. From dummy half goes the Fox, carrying it into midfield. 5th and last now for the Eels. Parramatta lined up to the right edge. There's some gaps here in the Storm defense. Papali onto Penasini, and Penasini, meek and meaningless, goes down on the last tackle for a handover. And now Riles is up out of his seat. Jason Riles is about to have a wander out of the coach's box. Well, it has been a frustrating game for the coaches. Let's be honest. The execution of both teams has been abysmal. Both coaches have got a lot to be upset about. Craig Kennett, ahoy mates. Parramatta crowding the play the ball area. Tackle 3 for the Storm. A shift out to the right. Here they go. At pace, Howarth hits the ball, gives it to Anderson, steps back in field, beats Russell. Still going Anderson, tackled on the 30. That was some good enterprising play by the Storm. Now they've got some space out to the left, and that's where they go. Grant, though, turns it back on the inside for Munster. Munster looks to get the arm free, but he stands in the tackle. Grant from dummy half on the fifth and last. Grubbers in behind the line. Played at by the Eels. And diving on the loose ball is Dylan Walker. Great work there by Dylan Walker. The body language starting to become a little concerning for the Eels. They're completely gassed. Do they have substitutes left? Penalty now to the Eels. Inside the 10. Not for the first time tonight. Oh, we've got a big finish. Big finish coming up here. Moses finding touch. 40 out from the Storm line. Penasini with the tap. To De Silva. Gives it to Hopgood for the hit up. 14 and a half minutes to go. Kerry Armour Brass, ahoy mate. How are you? 10 points apiece, 14 minutes left to play. De Silva goes short side for Hawkins. Gives it off to Williams. Carries it inside the 20. 15 in from touch. They go back to midfield for Paulo. Walker with the short ball to Hopgood, who spills it inside the red zone again. And they normally back this up with a penalty, the Eels. That is at least error number 5 early in the tackle count or midway through a tackle count on the attack inside the Storm red zone. An absolute coach killer of a game, this one. We've already seen Craig Bellamy leave the coach's box once tonight. We've seen Jason Riles get up out of his seat. He'll be next out, I reckon. This has been very frustrating for both coaches as Melbourne win the scrum on their own 10. Dominating field position in the second half as well, the Eels. Melbourne just haven't been anywhere near. Really struggling in this second half. Played into the breeze. They probably didn't take full advantage of that early wind in the first half. As onto the field. Okay, this will be very interesting to keep an eye on. Jonah Pezzett is on the field as Utiki Manu nearly breaks through. Fifth and last. Munster runs it at Moses and puts the kick up. Papali's under it at the back. Oh, and he's landed heavily on his knee there, Papali. 10 metres out from his own line. We could be going to Golden Point. Still 12 and a half minutes to play. Lomax crawls out to the 20. Storm up quickly in defence. They better be careful. Williams plays it. They stay on the short side here to the Eels. Fox. Just short of the 40. 5 in from touch. 2 tackles left. Walker. A slow carry outside the 40. Fifth and last for the Eels. Back it goes for Moses. Oh, that's a monster of a kick again. Coates will take it 5 out from his own line. Pinned into the corner. And it's a good kick chase. But it's an equally good kick return by Xavier Coates. He'll play it on the 20. Howarth now brings it out to the 30. 11 and a half minutes to go. 10 points apiece. Papenhuyzen opens up half a gap. The pass is forced. It's left on the ground for Coates to pick up. Gives it to Nick Meaney. And Meaney runs it up to the Eels 40. They're having some joy down this right edge to the Storm. Oh, dear Lord. Utiki Manu has just picked out the Fox and run over the top of him. He's bumped off another. Grant scoops it up from dummy half with one hand. Gives it to Wishart in midfield. Wishart's inside the 20 and he's wrapped up now fifth and last. Opportunity here for the Storm. Pezzett at first receiver goes to Munster. Munster kicking for Coates. Coates wins the battle in the air and Xavier Coates scores. It's tick number 3 off the multi. We're back on again. Jonah Pezzett gives it to Munster. Pinpoint accurate kick for Xavier Coates to win the battle in the air. And it's tick number 3 off the multi. Storm take the lead. But we go back a few tackles, and it was Utiki Manu who gave them the go forward. It was like a game of Jonah Lomu rugby on the PlayStation. Jonah Lomu rugby on the PlayStation when you just spammed the fend button. As this try is confirmed, Xavier Coates goes over. That is tick number 3. We're back on. What are they going to offer me for a cash out here? Because I may consider taking it. I might have to consider taking that one. For Sean Russell, I don't think he's scoring in the next. Depends what they offer me. It'd have to be worth my while, though. And with so little time left, I don't think it's going to be a good offer. Xavier Coates, he's been quiet tonight. He's chosen very late in the game for such heavy involvement. And Nick Meaney has taken over the goal kicking. Papenhuyzen's been sacked. Nick Meaney takes over. He's about 10 in from touch. Favoured side for a right-footed kicker, and he puts it right down the middle. Should have been kicking from the start. And Melbourne lead 16 points to 10 with about 10 minutes to go. Let's see. Let's see if they update my cash out offer. Well, so far, this game has gone pretty much how we expected, hasn't it? I did say Parramatta would cover the line. And ultimately, Melbourne would win. Now, from the restart, Utiki Manu heads across field. They need him going straight, hard and straight. Loose pass out the back. It's scooped up by Nick Meaney. Oh, my goodness. Craig Bellamy will be having heart palpitations up there in the coach's box after that. Tackle 3, and they're only just to their own 10-metre line here, the Storm. Okay, my cash-out offer has bumped up to $45. We're letting it ride. We're going to let it ride for Sean Russell. 5th and last, Munster needs a big kick here from inside the 30. He delivers a big kick. Taken on the fall by Papali, though. And young Papali is always driven back in the tackle. Well, he did well initially, but then he started going back at a rate of knots. Oh, risky offload, but it's paid off. And here in space is Talon De Silva. De Silva almost up to halfway on play 2. That gives them all the momentum back now, the Eels. Down the short side, Penasini. Up over halfway. 7 minutes 40 to go. Moses. Infield it goes for Luca Moretti. 2 tackles left here for the Eels. Hopgood goes out the back for Hawkins. Hawkins to Russell. Russell takes the line on. 5th and last. Hawkins takes the kick. That's a better kick from Hawkins. Pressure on Papenhuyzen at the back, but he takes it well. 5 metres out. Oh, he's lost it, Papenhuyzen. Papenhuyzen has lost it, and they have no challenge. The Storm burnt their captain's challenge in the first half. Here we go. Oh, my God. Sean Russell try here is worth $1,500 for me. A Sean Russell try bags me $1,500. 10 metres out, right in front, scrum down. Parramatta feed, 6.5 to go. Then they go left. Papali, though, dances around in midfield and surrenders in the tackle, 5 metres out from the line. Calendar Silva into dummy half. Short ball for Junior. Big Junior Bolo. Just a couple of meters out now on play 2. De Silva breaks to the right for Hawkins. Moses now holds the pass up for Papali. On to Lomax. And they swarm Lomax. Taken down in a 3-man tackle. Just a couple of meters out. Still the Eels back into midfield. Moretti held up in the tackle. 5 meters out. 2 left. Moses goes out the back for Hawkins, and they're up quickly on him. Hawkins gets the ball away. It's taken by Hopgood. Hopgood, 10 meters out right in front. 5th and last. The Eels go right-hand side. Moses to Papali. Numbers, but Papali spins and goes back in field for Junior Bolo. Puts the fend on. Gets into space. The pass goes around the back to Williams, who pops it up for Talent De Silva. Loses the ball. 5.5 minutes to go. Melbourne have come away with it. Riles is up out of his seat. It was on out to the left. And left, of course, is where old mate Sean Russell is. Oh, no. They kicked it dead as well to make matters worse. They kicked the ball dead and gave away a 7-tackle set. Well, that was stupidity. 16 points to 10, 4 minutes, 45 to go. Here come the Storm now, up towards halfway with Tiki Manu. They just have to run down the clock now, Melbourne. They don't have to do anything stupid. Grant turns it back on the inside for King. Tackled on halfway, play 4. Grant continues to look down the short side. Wishart steps back in field. Wishart finds half a gap. Walker and Borlo combine to bring him down. 5th and last for Pezzett to put the ball high. The Storm chasing through, putting pressure on. What a take at the back by Papali. 4 minutes to go. Parramatta have it on their own 10. They've got to go 90 metres. Moses in midfield onto Lomax. Storm are numbered up on defence, though, and Lomax is tackled 15 out from his own line. Told to go back and play it on the mark as well, which he didn't. He played the ball again, but he didn't move at all to go back on the mark. But anyway, 3.5 to go. 2 tackles left here for the Eels. Quick hands down the left. Sean Russell. Well wrapped up around the legs there by Nick Meaney. Big kick needed now for Moses. He's going to go on a run, though. Moses spots some space. Gets the pass away. It bounces up for Lomax. Lomax down the right edge. Loses the ball in field. Lomax has not had a good night, let's be honest. And this will be a handover. Melbourne's ball. Just short of halfway. Great field position. Fantastic defensive work from the Storm. Parramatta, they will ruse some chances. And Jason Riles is off. Riles has left the coach's box. We saw Craig Bellamy leave the coach's box in a half earlier. And Riles, he's now left. Can't stand. It's really been a miserable old game for the coaches. But here come Melbourne. Can they put this game to bed with 2 minutes to go? Do they set up a drop goal? What's the plan of attack here for the Storm? Utiki Manu keeping it in tight up the middle. It's the 5th and last. They're 30 out. Grant gets the penalty, goes to the Parramatta Eels. Harry Grant's been called for deliberately passing the ball into the Parramatta player to try and milk a penalty. Harry Grant has been penalised for deliberately throwing the pass into the Parramatta player that was sitting on the ground around the ruck. Penalty goes to the Eels for milking. Here we go. Moses thumps it into touch. Here come the Eels. 1:40 to go. Trailing by 6. They're 40 metres out from the line. They'll get the last say here. Junior Bolo in midfield, driven back in the tackle. 1:25 to go. Slow play the ball. 30 out from the line. De Silva goes right for Moses. Short ball, well read by the Storm defence. 15 out are the Eels. 3 tackles left. Moses goes out the back for Hawkins. Gives it on here for Williams, who turns in the tackle. Can't get the arms free. 12 out. Back into midfield goes Moretti. Swamped in a 3-man tackle. 5th and last. Staying down here, Luca Moretti. Staying down, trying to get the penalty. Staying down to try and milk it. It's the 5th and last at the moment for the Eels. Luca Moretti has stayed down here trying to get the bunker intervening. It's not happening. De Silva goes to the right for Walker. Crash ball is the play and the Eels have lost it. Papenhuyzen comes away with it, and that will surely be the game now for the Storm. One painful leg of the multi short. They should have gone left for Sean Russell. What they should have done. 30 seconds to go, and Melbourne will just wind the clock down with some of the slowest play the balls that you'll ever see. They don't need to do anything crazy at all here. Katoa plays it. Now Josh King carries out to the 30. 10 seconds left. The ball's ripped away by Talon De Silva, but he's lost it forward in the process, and that will be the game. 2 seconds left. Harry Grant's not even going to get the play the ball in. And Melbourne, they've done it tough, but they've done it. 16 points to 10. And I hope that everybody listened to me at the top of the stream when I said, jump on Parramatta Eels with the 9.5 point head start. I trust you all listened to me, because it's not very often that bookmakers just hand away money like that. So Melbourne jump up temporarily, at least, into second place on the ladder. 16 points to 10. They did it tough, but they got the job done. Wasted World of Sports, live on YouTube, live on Twitch, live on Facebook. If this is your first time joining us, just so that you know, we do this each and every weekend. Covering NRL, covering rugby, covering whatever the hell we feel like, basically. So if you're enjoying your time here hanging out with us, do feel free to like and subscribe. I'm going to have a quick break, and we'll be back to recap that match momentarily. A bit of a dud of a match, but there's always that excitement when a game is close and the scores are close. But anyway, quick break. We'll recap everything right after this. All right, how did we go? 16 points to 10, huh? It was a dismal old game. It really was. Speaking of drinks, Gina Ferracini, got to pour myself another one. Quite an enjoyable game. $16 points to 10. So, It was a really poor game at times. Execution from both teams lacking. This was our first glimpse, in fairness, of the Storm without Jahrome Hughes, and they're going to have to do this without Jahrome Hughes until the finals. Jahrome Hughes expected back for the finals, and they'll obviously make it. But it's always difficult when you lose your playmaker. I mean, think about the Panthers without Nathan Cleary. Think about the Broncos without Adam Reynolds. The Eels without Mitch Moses. It's tough to lose your starting playmaker, especially when they're one of the absolute superstars of the game. So, I mean, Tyron Wishart has got a big future, a bright future ahead of him, but he's nowhere near at the standard of Jahrome Hughes just yet. The same with Jonah Pezzett. Jonah Pezzett came off the bench, and the Storm attack looked a lot better late in that second half when Jonah Pezzett came onto the field. He steered them around a little bit better than Wishart was. But Wishart, I mean, he didn't have a bad game. I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm just suggesting he's not at the level of Jahrome Hughes. Very few players are. So Hughes is a big, big absence for the Melbourne Storm, and it showed tonight. They were very, very scrappy. But as I said at the top of the stream, they always do it tough here at CommBank, the Melbourne Storm. Parramatta lift for games against Storm, against the Panthers. Traditionally, they make life very, very tough on them. I figured it would be the same again tonight, which is why I said to everybody, jump on Parramatta at $1.90 to cover the 9.5 line. And they did it quite comfortably in the end. Cover the line, that is. But a very scrappy game. Neither coach, I dare say, will be happy with that performance from their team. Goal kicking is a very big issue. I mean, Zach Lomax, what is going on with his goal kicking at times this year? We saw it at State of Origin. We saw it again tonight. I mean, just atrocious. He wasn't even close. Papenhuyzen, though, was also off. I don't understand why Nick Meaney wasn't kicking the goals from the start. They went with Papenhuyzen anyways. It was a mistake. Pappy didn't have his kicking boots on. Nick Meaney, thankfully for the Storm, did. And he put a crucial goal over. 16 points to 10. They did just enough to get it done. And that's what the Storm are doing this year. They're doing just enough to get it done. I mean, they're up in second place. It's been far from a convincing year for the Melbourne Storm. Certainly not the convincing year I thought they would have. I honestly thought Melbourne would just cruise away for the minor premiership this year off the back of the momentum they built last season, but they haven't done that. They have had a lot of injury concerns as well, that the same issue that the Panthers have had. We haven't really seen a whole lot of games that the Melbourne Storm have played with 100% of their players available, but they just keep getting the job done, the Storm. They keep finding ways to eke out victories, and that is the sign of a championship team. A premiership-worthy team. They just find ways to win. Even when things aren't necessarily going their way, they find ways to get the job done. So, credit to them. Credit to them. Credit to Craig Bellamy. He just keeps getting the troops up constantly, doesn't he? Well done to them. And to the Eels, who are a much improved team now that Mitch Moses is back, which was always going to be the case. I was saying you can't be too harsh on the Eels. We don't know how they're going necessarily with Mitch Moses spending so much time on the sideline. But yes, 16 points to 10. It's a great start to the weekend in terms of our betting. It's a great start to the weekend in terms of our tipping. And we'll be back to do it all again tomorrow. Friday night footy, August 1st. Warriors, Dolphins at 6 p.m. Broncos, Rabbitohs at 8 p.m. I'm looking forward to the Warriors, Dolphins. I think the Broncos, Rabbitohs, I mean, that's going to be a bit of a snooze fest. The Rabbitohs have just got so many players out. You could actually field a competitive starting 13, I reckon, with the players that the Rabbitohs have got absent at the moment, whether it be through injury or suspension. I think you could field a top 8 contestable lineup with the players that they've got out. It's insane. The poor Rabbitohs. I would absolutely hate for Wayne Bennett, who's never, ever in his coaching history got a wooden spoon. I would absolutely hate for it to happen to him in this way. I mean, I suppose if he is going to win one, it'd be good to keep him strong, as they say in wrestling booking terms, because he's got so many excuses, so many players are out. You just don't want to see him get one, though. You want to see that record kept. The streak must stay alive, is what I'm saying. It's always a mistake when streaks end. Well, not always. Sometimes it's actually... Anyway, I'm morphing too much now into the wrestling talk. Waste of World of Sports crew, thank you so much for your company here in this one. As always, I've very much appreciated it. I don't know what the hell's going on with TikTok, and at this point, I don't know if we even... I've got something that I can try, basically. There's something I can try out if we care enough, but I'll see. Time will tell on that one. Okay. Thank you so much once again. As I said, if you are new here and you've enjoyed what we've brought to you, this is what we do every weekend. Waste of Water Sports, covering NRL, covering rugby, and having a lot of fun doing it. What do we got here? Oh, okay. I just got a notification. Your microphone is unmuted but has no signal. Well, that's because I wasn't talking. But, yeah, cool. All right. I'm going to hop on Discord for a little bit. Yeah. It's still early, and I've still got some things to do, so I'll hop on Discord for a little bit. If anyone's over on the Discord and wants a little chit-chat, that is the place to go. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the Warriors versus the Dolphins. Thank you so much. Catch you guys next time. Until then, cheers. There's my volume.